Be good. Be very good.
I do not think that this interview is going to be be good, be very good today. It's not going to be very good. It's the glass is half empty. That's just the way it is. That is what my author has said, and that is what we will talk about today. The glass is half empty. I don't know. I've always been the glass is just not full enough. I mean, that's just me. I'm like, can you pour some more in there? But Mr. Hawk is here today to talk about his book. Thank you so much for being here today. Your book, I have to say that this is amazing. Too early, too late. Now what? Yeah, now what? Mr. Hawk, thank you so much for joining us.
Good.
Okay, so you have to tell me, why did you write a book like this?
Um, let's go back to the half empty
Okay,
glass or half full.
all right.
Uh, Maybe towards 30 years ago, when the Berlin Wall came down
Hmm.
and East Germany and West Germany were being combined, I took a group of men, investors from New Jersey, to meet with the mayor of Berlin and to talk about investing. And near the end of the conversation, they had a rather famous professor from a Berlin school give a presentation on climate change, environmental issues. And I listened. And then they asked me if I would please comment. I commented that, yes, that was a nice presentation if you think the glass is half full.
Mm.
Many people around me think it's half empty. In fact, I disagree with both. I think the glass is empty, covered with urine stains. And that was the end of the discussion with the mayor of Berlin.
I'm
But
sure.
the book has to do with my spending a couple of years in Vietnam, watching humans destroy the landscape,
Mm.
destroy each other, and destroy themselves. And so when I came back from that, it was tough to reconcile. But anyway, I worked on it. But
Yeah.
the important point for this David Hawke story is that in 1975, I began a major project. This was while I was a student at the Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania, and they would not let me do this project. It had to do with the environmental deterioration that business causes, and they felt that was too negative. I couldn't
Hmm.
do that there. So I went to the Stockholm School of Economics to do it
Hmm.
and founded what was called the Institute of International Business, which we attracted about $100 million and started quite a wonderful institute where the first project was on the issue of environmental deterioration and how business caused it.
Mm.
I advertised that I was going to do a major project. Based on the ad, 20 companies and 6 governments signed up for that project.
Okay.
One of the companies, which the audience will be interested in, happened to be Exxon. So I worked with the CEO of Exxon and chief scientist for 2 years. They're the ones that convinced me to change it from environmental deterioration to climate change because they felt climate change was on its way and it was going to remove most life from Earth. Imagine that. So
Yeah.
we did the 2 year project, and then I did 3 volumes of reporting that came out of it. Had trouble with many people at the end because they thought I was too pessimistic. And then in probably 81, people sort of forgot about the report. Then they forgot about much of what I was doing. But in fact, in 79, I had written a book where that book was written 40 years before the one you're talking about of too early, too late, now what?
Okay.
Okay? And so what we're talking about was research done 40 years ago where one of the important companies was Exxon. Now, the 20 companies were picked because they all had different facilities in different nations. So we could evaluate how they were regulated in each nation. It's quite a study.
That is quite a
Your
study.
turn.
My turn. I don't know if I want to go after that one. That was yeah, Exxon. Yeah. I don't yeah, okay, so what about these regulations? What about the climate change and all of that? You're saying that they knew about this back in the
Sure.
day?
But also, I discovered that regulation was part of the problem.
Mm,
That in fact, legal order was the basis for people doing bad. Because once they knew precisely what they had to do, then they found ways to avoid it and ways not to have to do it. And so I invented an approach called negotiated order, which was to replace legal order. In other words, lawyers were a major problem in the climate change issue. I wanted to get rid of lawyers. I wanted to get rid of the regulation and have people see that, in essence, their children weren't going to be around if they kept on acting like they do. And
mm,
regulation had no impact on slowing them down. So it was a very controversial research project, but it came out with tremendous support by some of the governments. The Prime Minister of Sweden was very much behind it. The head of EPA in the US was furious about it. He collected all copies of my reports he could find, sent them back to me in Iowa, and said, "Dear Mr. Hawk, we have no further use of these reports, nor you, nor anything you propose to research." So
what?
you can imagine the anger.
What?
They were angry. I was making fun of EPA.
Mm.
In fact, I felt we needed something much stronger than regulation. We needed this thing called self-regulation, not regulation from others.
Sorry. Self-regulation in
And
that
humans aren't capable
environment?
of it.
Yes. Oh
Anyway,
gosh.
it went on. So uh, I'm not allowed to swear, right?
Go ahead. Go
Okay.
swear away. Go ahead.
40 years after my book came out, which was published by University of Pennsylvania, Wharton School, 40 years later, Princeton University Press decided to republish it because at the time, the dean of Wharton was firmly against me. In fact, he said if I got a PhD for that work, he would resign. Nonetheless, the president of Penn loved the book. I gave a copy to the president of Princeton, who loved it also. So, in memory of that president, they were going to republish that work 40 years later. And so they asked for the manuscript and asked if it's okay and asked for a title. I gave them all of that. So I sent them a title. Too early, too late, now what?
Mm-hmm.
The editor at Princeton called me and said that I don't like the title, it's confusing. Please give us something clear, to the point. Get rid of the ambiguity. And so I sent back a new title. And the new title was called Humans Are Fucked. And he called me back and said, "This is the last time I will ever talk to you.
Oh.
As long as I live, I will never speak to you again."
Oh goodness.
And then at luncheons and conferences, he bragged about having protected publications from people like me. So because of that, another publisher contacted me and said, "David, let's publish that book, but let's use the ambiguous title, not the clear one. Humans aren't ready for it."
No.
So Arthur House published it. It was fine. 2 years later, a woman contacted me, and you'll probably notice my bias is towards women and not with men. I believe men, vis-a-vis industrialization, started climate change, and our last best hope is to get women taking over leadership to soften it. But nonetheless, a woman from Utah contacted me and said, "David, it's time for clarity. Let's republish that with a clear title." So she republished it with the title, "Sorry, comma, humans are fucked." and a beautiful, beautiful title.
I
But the
love it.
trouble was, she didn't put my name on it. She put a nickname on because she said, "I'll bring up in my life if my name was on that book." So
Mm.
anyway, it got published, and I won't go into it, but Amazon had tremendous trouble with that book. And initially, they put it in candles, and I sent. Well, initially it was in books, but a few days later they took it out, put it in candles. I wrote them a sweet letter, congratulations, that when people read that book, they'll want to burn it. They'll look for a candle, and my God, they will buy one of your candles, and you'll be happy. Anyway, the manager wrote back a note saying that that was a horrible note. I've moved it out of candles to T-shirts with dirty words. And so then I congratulated him again. He never responded, but it sold very well in
Oh
dirty,
my God.
dirty word T-shirts. So they fired him, and they came back and offered to republish it. Amazon did.
Oh
So we
wow.
spent 2 years republishing it without the sorry, and
Oh
went
my gosh.
on and on. And then I've published a total of 9 books on the subject, and one of them was "Sorry, Humans Are Fucked." Another was "Humans Are Fucked." They tend to be very popular. It won prizes in the Philippines and in Germany for best book at the book conferences. In the US, it did not. Are you interested? Why
Wow.
not?
I am. I'm very, very much so interested in why not.
In the US in 1783, I'm sorry, 1873, a law was passed written by a postal clerk who hated women, passionately hated women. And many members of Congress also hated women. So he put together a law on how to punish women. And the Comstock Act of 1873 was passed, where if a woman was caught swearing using the word fuck, she would go to jail for 2 years as a way of teaching her and others. If they happened to be talking about abortion at the same time, she would go to prison longer. And so the Comstock Act was a fantastic act to keep women in their place.
Mm.
And so, in essence, I use that as the rationale for why in the US we make a big deal of the word fuck, just like they do in France, because it was used 200 years ago during the revolution. It was a way
Mhm.
for the king to control people. In all other countries, it's not a big deal, not an issue.
Yeah.
But in the
Yeah.
US, it is. Anyway, I wrote an article about this, which one of the Supreme Court justices happened to read, and he didn't know the Comstock Act before. And he checked on it and said, "This is marvelous. Thank God." And it was never repealed. So be careful what you say.
My gosh.
In the US, we're in a world of hurt relative to how we deal with women, try to punish them, try to control them. And in essence, from my vantage point, I can't believe that some women actually marry men and put up with them for life. Anyway, that's a side issue. But much of my work has to do with how to put women back in charge. And I started a foundation in 2015 in Beijing,
Hmm.
which I started the day that, what's his name? Trump. The day that T Rump came down the escalator, I started a foundation called the Eternal Feminine, and it has a website of eternalfeminine.org. And that particular foundation was how to prepare women to take over leadership in the world.
My goodness.
And in 6 months, it attracted $650 million to fund the foundation in order to take young girls and train them and teach them and put them in the best universities worldwide. Anyway, 2018, the board decided it really should have a woman in charge, not a man. And the board was all women, of course. And so they had a meeting on changing leadership. I offered to go through a sex change if necessary. And after they got done laughing, they got rid of me.
Oh gosh.
Went ahead with, and then in 2021, the head of the government in China closed the foundation.
No.
He closed it with a speech that said that what we need in the future in China is more masculinity, not that feminine crap. So anyway, that foundation's still out there. I'm going to restart it in the US and presently working on that, but it's a major step towards addressing climate change because the values of women are very important to try and clean up the mess, although it is sort of too late already.
I tell you what, though, Mr. Hawk, I want to thank you and I appreciate you for seeing that the woman is for the safety of all humans. I mean, think about it this way. We give birth to humans. Everyone that's ever been a human on this earth has been born through a woman with the love of the maternal instinct if a woman did have it. Um
Uh,
and
as a
it's
footnote to that,
oh yeah,
uh,
please tell me what that is,
during the
Mr. Hawk.
last month, a magazine came out with about 10 million readers, which picked up my books and picked up the point you're just making. And
Oh wow.
this is the magazine that just appeared, and it goes into some detail on one of David Hawke's favorite distinctions. And I'll sort of close with that distinction, but it has to do with the difference between human beings being public and being pubic. And those that are public are ones that look out and up. Those that are pubic are ones that look down and in. Now, I won't accuse Trump of being that way, but he is. So, in essence, I make a distinction between the public and the pubic in terms of dealing with problems. And I think there's far too many pubic men running around trying to solve problems. And
Oh,
this
tell me about it.
magazine made a big issue. It gave 7 pages to me.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Well,
I
Mr.
like
Hawk,
it.
well, I think that's amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and put your information in the description so people can actually find this book because I know
Sure.
exactly what this book is on Amazon, and it does say it does not say sorry, but it does say too early, too late. Now what? And I want to thank you, Mr. Hawk, for being on the show. I appreciate it. Which would humans,
And the little girl
Mr.
giving the
Hawk,
finger.
your trip.
You know, the mayor of New York ordered this taken down when it was up in Times Square, the previous
Oh,
mayor. I won't
I'm
tell you the
sure.
story, but it became an important story in the newspapers
Mm.
based on his conversation with me. But this is the latest book that I wrote having to do with,
Yeah, put that
oh,
in front of you. Put it in
oh,
front of you.
sorry.
In front of you. In front of your face. There you go.
Okay. This is my latest book, and it's probably the best of the bunch.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll definitely search for that as well as put the link for the other book up there as well. I want to thank you, Mr. Hawk, for being on the show. I hope and pray that the organization gets started up again because we really do need better leadership, one with more compassion and empathy and understanding.
To to support you and support that, United Nations has asked if I could have this organization join them. So I may well start it up. And someone has already donated 35 million to it.
Well, you just do that. Definitely do that. And keep me in mind
Yep.
if anything does come up. I would love to be a part of it because I do believe I don't want to be a part of anybody's government, but I do want to support those who are actually doing something positive for the human race. So that would
Thank
be
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Hawk. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to have that link in the description so it'll be easy for you guys to find it. Don't forget to dare to be different. But most of all, don't forget just be real. Just be real, guys. Until next time. Bye. Thank you for watching.
Yeah! Hey!
don't know. I don't know. I'm on a roll today. I'm on a roll today. I am on a roll. I'm on a roll, and I'm going to say, who says you can't win? Win. Hello, awakening through the wilderness, building through the valley, becoming before the win. What? What? Before the before the win. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Who says? Who says? Who said? Hmm. Anyway, so I want to welcome my next guest on the show. I know I am being funny today. Don't mind. Well, yeah, do mind me. Do mind me. Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on that. I'm on that. I'm gonna put my glasses up. I'm on it. I'm on it. And I'm gonna welcome Miss Parks to the show. Welcome Deondra Parks to the show. Thank you so much. Author of Who Says You Can't Win.
Hi, hello, Yaya. Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, anytime, anytime. I have to ask the question, and I'm going to go back in time. And, there had to be some kind of a pivotal moment for you when you decided you were going to write this book. What was it that happened that just kind of said, that's it. I'm done. I'm writing it. I'm done.
Ooh, you know what? That's a good question. And I have a very great answer. So I lost my mother. Well, I don't like to say lost. My mother transitioned in 2022. And I just started documenting things that I was going through, losing her, the close of my company, just so many different ebbs and flows. I was just writing them down because I've always been one to write things out. My mother was an author, and that was just something she did. And I kind of just always journaled. And as I began to do that, I just started writing things that were going on within my life and in my situation. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to write about it. And I began to take it from there.
Now, see, your book highlights resilience in the face of setbacks. Can you share one of the most challenging moments you faced and how you managed to keep going?
Absolutely. Over these past few years, it has really been a whirlwind for me. So that life itself has been a setback and a setup for this
Mm,
great return. So I'll have to say it that way. The shift happened with entrepreneurship, being the oldest, taking care of my mother, being her conservator and guardian after her losing, needing that voice, but not having that voice,
mhm.
not knowing how to function, and then losing the company, relationships, everything was shifting and moving within my life. And it was like, what do you do? I had
Yeah.
to stand and I had to become. And that's what I began to do with this.
Mm. I find that it's difficult when you lose, because I lost my mom in 24,
Mhm.
and I feel like it was just yesterday. It was just
Yes,
yesterday. I mean, I don't know if you ever really get over losing, your parents, and being a parent. Now I understand that they're gonna lose me. It's kind of hard, isn't it?
it
But you
is.
do have to move forward. How did your faith influence your ability to navigate in the uncertainty of this loss?
So, what my faith did was actually it stretched me
Mm,
because everything that I had always known my faith to be was
mhm,
being challenged and questioned. Things were not moving for me the way they once were. I was not hearing, in my personal opinion, God the way that I once did. And the way that I was holding on to the faith, knowing Him began to unravel.
mhm.
And I really say that I did that to myself as well, because our words are powerful. When we speak those things, they become those things. And I was saying things like, I feel like I'm learning God differently. And He's like, all right, you feel like you're learning me differently? Let me show you how better much you can learn me differently. And that's just what it was. I began to learn differently how to, really lean in and tap into truly who I am through Him.
So how did you rediscover your sense of direction during that time then?
Oh, geez. I discovered my sense of direction, honestly, really outside of going within and really studying the scripture. I
Mm,
really know that I was hearing, I literally was hearing different presence and norms that I normally had not heard before. And as I really began to sit still, that's when things just began to shift. I began hearing, what my next steps was and how I needed to become. And overall, all the tragedy, I don't really want to say tragedy, the trauma and experiences and circumstances that I was going through began to really shift and make a different dynamic in my life.
Mm, 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 mm. You know that mm, those times, those I, you know, I you know how it feels when you can't really answer the question or
Yes,
you can't really
ma'am.
ask the question because you're going through the whole thing in your mind. Like, uh, wow, I remember when that took me for a loop. And I mean, what advice do you give someone currently facing these unexpected setbacks and the questioning their path? Because I mean, just like I just did, it's like, I don't even know what to say. I really
Mhm.
don't know how to put it.
Yeah, yeah. So let me share with you what I love to share with people and what I will be sharing with people moving forward. First and foremost, silence is volume. Sitting in that silence, you're already getting your answer. I really believe that as you sit there in that silence, that's when God truly begins to speak. Also, I would let people know that when they're going through those wilderness, you're being built, especially when that you know that you have a calling. You have to build up that capacity, and that's what that's meant for me in order to really do that. So what I would share with those, especially those that are walking into the entrepreneurial space, especially if you're saying, hey, this is what I endeavor to do, well, it's going to cost you some things. It's going to
Mhm,
cost you to really learn, to step in, to tap in, to really realize who you are so that you can embody what those next steps are and how you're looking to impact others. You have to be completely whole. You have to
mhm,
make sure that all the trauma things that you've experienced is no longer part of your life because you're helping someone else. You're helping gather, pretty much, you're gathering your fragments, becoming whole, and helping those other individuals with a template on how to be able to move forward and execute and then launch out into the deep.
Girl, stop. Just stop. Well, it's true.
It
It is
is.
definitely true. So in your book, you mentioned mindset and the inner
Um,
determination as
yes.
key factors in transformation, right? So
Yes.
how can someone cultivate these qualities even when they feel overwhelmed? Like, I mean, they're going to feel overwhelmed, but how can they cultivate this?
It's a process. It's a step by step process. It's a second by second process. And I have to go back to the Bible where it talks about us dying of ourselves daily. You're
Hmm.
going to have to continuously condition your mind. It's not a okay, I've done it and I'm done. It's a daily process. It's a second by second process. Being able to still your mind, be present. What I've learned in this experience, we're looking into the future, looking for things to change or thinking that tomorrow is going to be better. Tomorrow is not tangible. Our past is not tangible. Only the present is what you can feel. So be in that moment and feel what's going on.
Hmm.
As you're able to be in that moment and feel that, it'll begin to also help remove some of the angst. And that's what it is. We are so focused on what's next. What about what is? And
Mm,
what is what we have right now. So let's pay attention to it. Let's lean into it. And then let's begin to move into the next. But we can't move into the next without standing still and being in this present moment.
hmm. Your book says, and I quote, it says, "Who says you can't win?" How did you come up with that title? And what do you mean by who says you can't win?
Okay. I love that you asked me that. So the win is actually when, we're all so fixed on when things are going to change, when things are going to turn the way that we want them to. When will I win?
Hmm.
You're going to. Again, it's a fixed fight, but do you have the capacity to
Mhm.
steer that win? Do you have what it takes to move to the next step? We are all going to get to that next, but you have to make sure that you are okay. And so I really wanted people to understand it's not necessarily the win, which is WIN. It's when you have the capacity to steer what it is that you're looking to build, what you're looking to execute, what you're looking to mobilize, what you're looking to structure. You have to become a better version of what you are. You can't go into something new. And again, scripture, you can't go into something new with old wineskins. You have to become someone completely different. When it happens, it's up to you. It's
Mm.
completely up to you. But when you finally get there, that's where you're supposed to be.
How is this journey, this one that, you know, everybody's like writing these books and stuff, but how has this affected you in your journey?
Yeah, it has changed me. Now, to be very honest, I did not like it.
Woo.
When I tell you I was angry, I was so angry. I was bitter. I'm seeing everyone else winning and doing things and succeeding. And I'm like, what's going on? And not just that, I'm a woman of faith. I've grown up into the word and this and that. And I've been, in ministry over the years and things of that sort. So my thing was, what is going on? I became angry. And
Mm,
that's what it was. It changed me with anger. And then when you get so much anger and so much frustration, you don't have any more energy anymore. It's like, you know what? I'm done. Let's figure this out. And
yeah.
that's when I was able to like really release, let go, do the work that needed to be done, and become a better version of myself. And I have to share this. I
Mhm.
actually, again, of course, I'm an entrepreneur. My tagline for my business has always been, I like who I'm becoming.
Mhm.
Words have power. I did not realize I had to become. And I can share with you now without fail, I love who I have become.
Oh,
And there's going to be continue more iterations of me.
that is wonderful. I am happy that you love who you've become. It takes a moment to actually do that, though. It takes a moment to actually step
Yes,
into who you want to be. I mean, you kind of have an idea, but until you actually are walking in that particular person's shoes, who you
absolutely.
want to walk in those shoes, that you want to become, it is difficult. What do you want readers to take away when they read your book, when they finish? Because I can say read, but when they finish your book.
When they finish the book, the journey is still going on. But what I want them to take away is that they're not alone. And not just that, confirmation. Confirmation that what they started out to do, they were built for it. That was always the thing for me. I was questioning, am I really built for this? Absolutely. I'm
Mhm.
built for it. Those who are stepping into their purpose, they're built for it. Are you willing to give up the things of old so that you can become them? And if you say yes, get ready for the journey ahead and enjoy. It's not always going to be sweet, it's actually going to be bittersweet. But when you finally get to that place,
Mhm.
it's beautiful.
I hear you. I hear. What's next for you, girlfriend? What's next? What's next? What's
What's
next?
next? There's so many things that's going on. So what's next is there's actually we're now doing classes on mindset for the entrepreneurs that we'll be discussing. There's also another book in the making. I'm
Mm,
excited about that. It goes more deeper into the awareness, more deeper into scripture, and backing things up with who we truly are with the scripture. There are so many things that are out. I also actually in my business we have a marketplace that is being developed. The full platform will be released within the next few weeks. So there's a lot of things that's going on with DeAndre, and that's why DeAndre had to go through this win season
I hear you.
because of the capacity. I needed to make sure that I was at capacity to take care of everything that I'm experiencing now.
That is wonderful, Deondra. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. And you have a business. You
I
said that you had a
do.
business. Okay, tell me about this business really quick, just real fast,
So it's ready
because
for change employment
shameless,
solutions.
shameless plug.
Thank you for that. It is called Ready for Change Employment Solutions. We are a full on staffing agency consulting firm doing professional development, i.e., again, something that I had to step into as well with becoming. And we're located here in Detroit, Michigan. You can look up areyoureadyforchange.com. Please look into the book, Who Says You Can't Win? You're able to go onto our website again, areyoureadyforchange.com. There's a link for Who Says You Can't Win, as well as I actually have another book, one of my first books, shameless plug, but you can't see it. It's called When the Lights Came On. So
Mm,
definitely a multidimensional entrepreneur, author, and I am looking forward to the next. And you guys have definitely not heard the last of me.
that's wonderful. I am glad. I am very happy. Deondra, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Yaya. I appreciate you.
Anytime, anytime. We're gonna have the link for that book, and I'm gonna put that book up on the screen again because I like that. Who says you can't win? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know, but they better not be talking to me.
We winning.
And we winning. Hello.
That's it.
Don't get mad at me. Get mad at yourself and then change. There
That,
you go.
that's it.
That's
That's
it.
it. Yes, ma'am.
Well, we want to thank you, myself and Deondra, on behalf of whoever you may be in this world today, on the behalf of the person that you are becoming.
Yes.
When you read this book. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to Dare to Be Different. The link for this book is in the description box, so it'll be easy for you to actually find it. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please make sure that you comment on this video, like, and subscribe, and go to the webpage and go check that book out for yourself. I want
It's
to
on
thank you guys
Audible
again.
as well.
That's it. It's you got to know Audible
Absolutely.
people. Audible
Yes.
people, which I am. I'm an Audible person. Go ahead and get that book as well. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys. Bye. Thank you for watching.